Hello everyone. In today's video, I am going to again continue the beginner's guide for Eternal Towers of Hell, and I will show you how to beat 3 more towers so that you can access Ring 2 today. I will also give you a brief tutorial on the ring select, and there will be a bunch of other elements in today's video that you won't want to miss out. So starting off, let's introduce you to the ring select. First, let's press play. So as you can see, we've gotten a load of badges over here, and now we are introduced to what is called the ring select. In the ring select, you can choose whichever area you want to go to. So to move between areas, on mobile you would tap this arrow and that one. On a computer, I like to use the 2 left and right arrow keys. You can also use A and D to do this. And if you want to switch worlds, you can press E and Q to do this. So let's start with using the arrow keys or A and D to move between the rings. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 rings in this first world. This world is called the Great Inferno, and as you can see, they all kind of have similar names to the 9 circles of hell in Dante's Inferno: Limbo, Desire, Gluttony, Greed, Wrath, Heresy, Violence, Fraud, Treachery. And as you can see, each of them have different area requirements. So if we look at Ring 5 Wrath, for example, the area requirements are to beat 22 towers, 3 difficult plus towers, and 1 challenging plus tower. There's also, as you can see underneath some of them, these buttons I can press, and these are called subrealms. So subrealms are areas that are nested inside of the main realms, the major rings here, and in zones, in the World 2, the major zones. Speaking of zones, let's move to World 2. In World 2, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 currently available areas that you can play, and 1 more coming soon. There's also a couple that are to be released within the near future, but we will get to that later. In that case, as you can see, they have the same subrealms that you can access by pressing over there, and they are called zones. So we've been in Ring 0, which is called Purgatorio, for the most amount of time, so why don't we move on to Ring 1. And if you want to play, you can press this play button here if you're on mobile, or if you're on a computer, you can press enter. So as you can see, we are now in Ring 1, and as of recording this video, it is November, sometime in early November, so there is a Halloween event going on, but we have now entered what is the first ring of the Great Inferno. And as you can see, it has a similar, maybe a little bit more clumped structure than Purgatorio, but you have the towers, you have the credits, you have the cat therapy, and you can go outside in whichever direction you desire. Let's take a look at the difficulty chart. As you can see, there's so many more difficulties here, and so many more towers than there were in Purgatorio. So, obviously you guys know that the green is the easy, the yellow is medium, and the orange is hard. But let's move beyond that. This red is difficult, and it is a step above hard. Above that, the dark red is challenging, the black is intense, and the pink is remorseless. Now we have some more difficulties above that are smaller in size, and these are called soul-crushing difficulties. The soul-crushing difficulties are insane, extreme, terrifying, and catastrophic. We probably will not beat any of these 4 difficulties by the end of the tutorial, but I can definitely guarantee you that I will help you beat a remorseless difficulty. You can also read this over here for some more explanation on the difficulty chart. And yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a length counter or anything here. That would be in Purgatorio. So why don't we head on into the beginner towers? Today we're not actually going to do we're not going to start with Tower of a Simple Time. We're actually going to start with Tower of Anger. And there's a reason why I want to do this to you, and it's to introduce you to a new type of gameplay style. As you've noticed in the first 3 towers, you probably saw a lot of very flowy gameplay with a lot of jumps that weren't necessarily the same, and the design of those towers were pretty good. Tower of Anger has you in for a big ride. As you can see, it's very empty. I'm just gonna go in first person to show you. It is pretty empty. There are very few parts, and yeah, there's some stuff blocking the way, but overall, it's very empty. Now, the reason why this is because Tower of Anger was made very early on, just a few months after the game's release. Let's start the obbying. Climb up the truss, and you can walk around this part as so. For this, I would suggest you can press space and then hold W after, but you can also do it whichever way you prefer. And for this, just walk down. Some more simple jumps. This is a bit of a long jump, so the best way to do this is to hold W and press space pretty late. Apologies for that. Let's jump over here. And for these platforms, my best way to do it is to go into first person. So to do that, you can either press I twice or use your mouse to zoom in like that. And then you can just jump across like this. Shouldn't be too hard. And once this thing is pointing you, you can jump to it just like that. And then whenever you're ready, jump to this truss. Jump here, and for this, I would say you can go on the side and walk up the ladder like that. Okay, we have some conveyors here, and a conveyor basically carries you with it. So my favorite way to do this is to just go very quick across these jumps. So the best way to do this, I would say, is to jump onto this one, this one, this one, this one, this one very quickly. And you might stop here, you might keep going, or if you do keep going, you'll be stopped by the kill brick and you'll walk right onto it. I would say jump to the next kill brick and then jump to the next. And then the best way to do this one is hold W, and right after you start holding it, press space. Some longer jumps here. You can do whichever strategy you desire. Now we're inside this mini safety net area. Okay, we can continue like this. Jump here, jump to here, and jump to here. You can walk around like this. And now you can jump from this part, or you can jump from a little bit further back, and that way you won't hit your head on this. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. The first way is you face this part and you jump to there. But as you can see, I fell down. So it's not a great idea to do that. Let's quickly come back up. You can also make a skip from over here to just right there if you press space and then press W for a little bit. So the way that I was thinking about, and you can do this if I position myself correctly, you can do it on that part and that part as well. But how I'd suggest you do this is get to the edge of this platform like this, and as you can see, you can have a little bit of your foot like hanging off. That's fine. Use shift lock, and then press S, quickly press space right after, and then hold W. Let's do that one more time. Press S, quickly press space, and then hold W. And you can just jump up to here, and then jump on these poles. As you can see, you can do a wraparound skip to there, but we will not do that. Just jump across these. And do be careful to try and not hit your head there, because you can lose a lot of momentum and make less distance in a jump. Okay, now this part of the tower is very easy. This is what you call walking simulator, because all you do is just walk. Now the best way to do this part is to go all the way to the edge, right about here. Press space and then press W right after. Or press space, and once you're at the peak of your jump, press W. Let's try that again. You should be pretty quick with that, so maybe not right at the peak of the jump, but somewhere in the middle. And worst case scenario, you can always just, pretty sure you can always just do it normally, and you can just jump across like that. Yeah, so if you can't do it, you can do it normally, whatever. For this, jump on the spinner, you can go to the middle, and then you can jump off like this. And 1, 2, jump to here, 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 and here. As you can see, there are some transparent platforms here, and that is an intentional skip. You can use those to actually like skip a section of the tower, but I don't think it makes too much of a difference, so I will just jump over to here and then do this normally. And for this, you don't want to actually jump onto this truss, because you'll end up hitting your head there, and then you have to do a weird maneuver. So the best way to do it, I would say, is to get all the way to the edge like this. Use shift lock, align yourself at, say, a 30-degree angle, and then D and jump. For these, get all the way to the edge, make sure you're standing on this 2-stud tall part, press space, and then at the peak of your jump, press W. Space, peak of the jump, W. Space, W. Space, W. Space, W. And if you get comfortable, you can start treating it like head hitters, like this. Okay. This is a kill brick maze, so do be careful here. But the best way to do this is to just walk straight, walk right, straight, left, straight, right, straight. And it's okay if you take a little bit of damage. Just try not to actually hug the kill bricks. These jumps are pretty simple. And now we're back to some walking simulator. So, all the jumps get pretty repetitive. All you have to do is just do them however you're most comfortable with. I would suggest, though, you probably press space and then press W right after. But if it is a bit longer, you can hold W first and then press space. And unfortunately, there's no known way to skip this part, so you have to brave it out. Now this part, you start hitting your head. For this jump, you can do it normally. And then this one, I believe, what you can do is you can hold A and walk across, then get all the way to the edge of this one, and then quickly press space and quickly press W, like that. And same thing over there. Now just jump over the kill bricks. Okay, don't fail this part, because I have failed this part multiple times when I was a beginner. These jumps are pretty simple, but the landing area that you get for them gets smaller and smaller. See, over here, we have kind of less of a landing area. So you could still land there, but it's harder. And now this part, you can see that there's a 2-stud gap here, so don't hold W all the way. Just tap space and tap W and you should be on this platform fine. Some basic 4x4s. And then for this staircase, all you have to do is jump to the edge like this and then climb up. Okay, this is a tricky section. The best way to do this, in my opinion, is to just go for it. And what I mean by go for it is space W, space W, space W, space W. If you just go for it like that, you should be perfectly fine. But if you ever need to adjust on that last jump, you can press A or D accordingly to land on this platform. For example, if the conveyor is moving you to that side, then you can press W and A. If the conveyor is moving you to that side, you can do jump W and D. Some basic trusses. You can just walk across these and then jump across these ones. For these spinners, jump to the middle and then go to the edge and then jump once you are on this side of the spinner. That was a close one. Ooh, these are fun. So these are called wraparounds, and I'm pretty sure that I explained them in Tower of Motion Evolution, but if you need a refresher, the way you do these is you would hug them, you would tilt your camera pretty much like this, and then make sure to use, for this case, because you're doing it on the left, you would need A. You would do A, space, and then tilt your trackpad from here to this way, so like that, and you want to make a nice big curve, just like that. It's okay if you don't necessarily like do a full spin like that, but it is important to do that. Or you don't need to hug this, but you do need to make that full spin. Again, get to the hug, get to the edge, spin. Hug, get to the edge, spin. And as you saw, if you ever get a little worried, you can press W at the end of the wraparound to make it a little bit tighter. Just walk up these and jump across these. Okay, these platforms, they don't show a lot, so I would recommend having your graphics quality up. Here, 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 and then at the end, you can jump off. These jumps are interesting. The best way to do them is space and W at the end. So you can press W somewhere in the middle of them while you're in the middle of the jump, or you can press W once you're at the apex of the jump. I would say sometimes doing it like how I just did by developing momentum and going in like that, it can work, but I would not recommend it. So I just hug it, space, and then at the apex of your jump, press W. Apex W. And we get some more walking simulator. Okay. You're going to want to jump onto the conveyor once it's at about here. And then you can just jump on like that. And if you ever want to hop off, or when you should, you just do it over there. Walk down here. Apex W. W. And similar concept, jump onto the spinner here. And jump off once it faces that platform. Okay, these ones are a bit tricky. How I suggest you do these is to go onto the top part of it. So like this. You see there's a bit of gap there. We want to make sure there's that gap there. Jump onto here. And then for this one, jumping straight from the side like that is a bit challenging. So I like to kind of align myself at the corner and then jump onto this. You can do it however you'd like. You can still do like a jump to there. But I personally like to go like this. That gives me a little bit more room to actually, that gives me more time to hold W, and it can get me further into the jump. But however you like it is probably best. These are some simple jumps, so you can do them as quickly as you'd like. And then this one is a bit far, so do be careful. If you do end up messing it up, you can always drop down to that mini net. Jump onto here, and then just hold W all the way. Jump up to there. This jump is a little tricky. The best way I suggest is get to all the way to the corner like this, and then space and W. For this one, I recommend you go sort of to over here, and then you kind of treat it like a half wraparound where you rotate like that, or you can also just take it directly aligned like this, and then space and A. Okay, now we're going to just quickly do these jumps because this is the peak of I would say like effortless gameplay that requires skill. So it might look like you can jump from over here to there, but as you can see, making this jump is impossible. So we actually have to track back and walk to over here. As you can see, we can't really fit through that hole. So the best way to do this would be to press space, and at the apex of your jump, or at the tip, press W. From here on out, it's pretty easy. There's really nothing stopping you, except for yourself. So just don't make any mistakes. You can go through these steps, jump over the kill bricks as you'd like, but as you get further and further, it's harder and harder to avoid. So at that point, you might as well just tank some of the damage. And I would say go on this side, and it gets smaller and smaller, so go slower and slower. And once you're here, you can just jump across like this, holding W in space, turn over here, and jump into the wind pad. Congratulations, you've received 3 tickets for beating ToH. Tickets can be reobtained from this tower after a week, and you've gotten the badge for Tower of Anger. Dear player, I want to thank you for how far you've come. You've went through so many obstacles and challenges. I can't believe you pushed to beat this obby. After all, it was made up of simple bricks and scripts. Anyway, I want to thank you again for being here. Will there be more towers in the future to conquer? We will have to see. Well, that was Tower of Anger. Go on this green brick and you will arrive back here. As you can see, we're back in Purgatorio, and I think I'm gonna lower my graphics. Yeah, 6 is way too high. I would not recommend. 10 is way too high. If you have a kind of crap computer like me, I wouldn't recommend keeping it at 10. And so, if we want to, as you see, there's the introductory towers there. And if we want to find some harder towers, as Ringo said, excuse me, we can go into this elevator and press this up button. Now there's a lot of towers that we have here. If you turn up your graphics and you look on into the distance from here, you will see the other areas. There's a lot of different towers we can do here. We will do the towers over there in a later episode. We will do the towers over there in the later episode. And today, the tower that we will do in Purgatoria will actually be Tower of Boost Mayhem. This will be your hardest tower and your first medium. So this is your first real challenge in the game, I would say. But I think you should be able to do this pretty well. There's a lot of safety nets, and you're safe most of the way throughout the tower, so don't worry. Alright, just go up that truss, and you can jump onto here. Don't worry about the kill bricks. And if you haven't noticed yet, I'm trying to go at a faster pace in this video, because in the first video, I was also kind of teaching you kind of the mechanics of jumping and obbying as well. So now I'm going at a bit of a faster pace, now that you kind of know how to do these basic jumps. If it is something harder, then I will show you how to do it. So up ahead, this is a jump booster. When I'm on it, I am jumping a lot higher, and I want to jump over there. So if I jump here, now this block removed my jump boost. I only jump a regular amount. Let's jump down here. Jump boost. Jump up to here, onto the sphere, and onto the conveyor. And as you can see, if we do not jump, then we will fall. So I would say you jump onto here, and then you jump off over here. They can also have a time limit, so do be careful of that. Jump up to here, here, and then onto here. We're on floor 2, so let's keep going. Now this yellow part is a speed booster. As you can see, I'm walking at a normal speed. If I activate the speed booster, I'm walking at a much faster speed. And that red part will remove my speed boost. Let's try and avoid the kill brick if you'd like, otherwise you can just speed right through. And of course, these can also have a time limit. Just jump down here, onto this truss, into the ball, and press there. And if you just jump when standing on there, then you'll be at floor 3. I don't really understand that, but this kind of looks like a copy of floor 1 and 2, but in a much darker theme. And just jump right through. And you want to go up here and then onto this. Okay, now usually jump boost pads can give you a jump boost, but I'm pressing space right now and I'm not getting any jump boost, and that's because it actually completely removed my jump. So jump boost pads can also remove your jump or reduce it. Let's go on the slide. We can still press space or press jump, but it won't like function the same way as if I had a jump booster. This is a push box. I think we covered this in tower buttons, but we can just push it to this button here, and we can walk across like this. Walk onto here, and now quickly go right through there, walk here, through here, and we can walk onto the truss, and we will be fine. Now the speed booster will remove our speed, or it will reduce it. If it removed it, that would be a big problem. We can still jump, so we can still make jumps, but we cannot like walk as fast anymore. So So the best way to do this would be to jump onto this part, and then just quickly jump here. Now for this, you can walk across, you can also press jump a bit, and then you can walk onto here or jump onto here, whatever you're most comfortable with. Then you can walk through here, and we're on to the next floor. Jump onto this wedge, and go quickly so that you can make it onto here. Just jump here. When it's in this side, you can jump to it, and then whenever you're ready, jump off. This is a jump boost pad. It makes you jump higher only when you are standing on it. So as you can see, when I'm on it, I can jump higher, and there's no jump remover anywhere, so I'm gonna just jump here. But now that I'm on here, it doesn't actually make me jump any higher. These can also be transparent, so now I can jump higher just on there. For this spinner, I recommend you kind of just go right across, and then when you have a chance, quickly go from there onto this sphere. You can jump onto this, and then jump off or walk off to there. If you just jump on this, you'd press a button. And on this part, you can jump up to here. Stand here. And for this jump pad, you're going to jump to here. And for here, you can jump to there. For this one, you'll jump onto this wedge. Now for this, I recommend you stand still, and then you have a really tall push box, so do be careful. Position the push box right about here, and once you're on this jump pad, jump onto it, and then you can jump onto here, and you're off to the next floor. And these speed boost pads work basically the same like the jump boost pad. So when I'm on it, I can walk fast, but when I'm not on it, I don't walk as fast. For this part, I recommend you can jump, you stand inside of this, and then you jump across like that. Same thing, you can just jump across to here, and jump off to here. Quickly jump off the conveyor to here, and same scenario here. You're on this wedge, you can use this speed booster to go quicker, and then just jump off. Jump onto here, and this is a bit of a tricky push box, so you'll press this, and then push this a little bit. Try not to make it touch that, and then once you do that, you can push it to the button like that, and now you're good. Now wait for one of these balls to arrive, jump onto it, and jump off. Be on this, on inside of the speed boost pad, and then once you're here, you will not die if you fall outside. Let's test that theory. Good. So you can be as quick or as slow as you'd like. Wait for the moving platform, obviously. Now this reduces your speed while you're standing on it. So the best way I'd suggest you do this is you can just jump across like that, or you can just walk through it. Jump onto this one and across. And for this one, you just treat it like a normal jump, just kind of jump a little late. I missed the cycle a little bit, but to here, and if you want to avoid that speed remover pad, I can just not jump from there. Press this button, jump down, jump to here, and when you're on here, you want to jump over while you are there. You can then walk onto this or jump onto this, and while it's in the middle, jump to get the button. And then similar deal. Just walk off to there, jump onto here, and be quick from this platform to here. You can just walk over like that. For this, I recommend you try and jump over these, though if you cannot, that's fine. Make sure you jump off from about here, and try not to jump off while you're on one of those. For this, just stand on the edge, you'll be fine. For this one, just make sure you jump onto here, then jump off like that. This ball spins very slowly, so just stand on the top and jump to here. Now you want to jump to here, and then from that, try and just jump straight into that block, or that box. We have some jump boost, so let's use that to our advantage to complete this simple obbying. Now we have speed boost. We can also use that to our advantage. Quick, quick, and here at whatever speed. Now you want to, once it is just after vertical, you can walk to there and then jump off. Okay, let's jump down, and then climb this truss. Some simple lobbying. You can jump onto that cube if you'd like. Now for here, the best way to do this would be to be on that green part, and then you can jump across while you're on the green part. And same thing here, jump while you're on the green part, jump to here. Oh, that gives you a big boost. Jump to the truss while you're on it. Find 5 buttons. Okay. Shouldn't be too hard. You can jump to here. Alright, that's one. Next thing to do, jump onto one of these. And you'll get a big boost, and you can jump up to here. Once you're here, there's a button there. You can move over here. Jump up and touch this button. Once you're ready, you can jump off to here. You can jump down here. When you're ready, jump off onto this. And then make the jump to there. And then there's one more jump, or there's one more that you need to get, which is just right over here. The best way to get down there would be to be onto this one and jump off. Hopefully that was clear enough. Some more simple obbying. Just make sure to fight the momentum of this one pushing you. You can jump straight to here. Alright. We are now at the late stages of this tower. Best way to do this, once that part passes, you can just jump off to here. Now while you're on the edge of the speed platform, that's when you make the jump. For this one, you can kind of just do the jump normally. You'll get the speed boost. Jump onto this, and once this spoke comes out, you can jump onto the top of that and onto here. As you can see, the speed boost kicks in. Jump to over here, and jump off to here. Down here, make sure, mind the gap. Press the button. And now, you're over here. I'd recommend you quickly get to the edge of that, and you can make the jump a lot easier. Mind how this thing moves backwards, so I'd recommend you hold W while you do this, and to get around this, you can slightly tilt your camera and hold A. across, wrap around. It says to just walk off, so just walk off. For this one, you're now moving at the exact same speed, so the best way to do this is to just hold jump, like that. Stand at the edge right here. This should pick you up, and you need to quickly jump off to here. Let me show you that one more time. So make sure you probably face this way, and jump off to there. Should be pushed to here. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, once that thing passes, just jump to here, and keep pressing jump. And then whenever you're ready, you can fall down to here. Climb this truss, you'll get a speed boost while you do so. Simple jump, mind the gap, and another jump up to here. Once you jump up here, you will have to move quickly. So basically, this section, the kill bricks will arise, and I don't know what happens if you fall in, so I recommend you don't fall in. Go quick also. Remember to fight the momentum of the conveyor. Jump across. Oh, looks like there's some sort of platform there. Jump on the cube. Jump across. You don't need to, you need to be on these conveyors, so mind them. This one, you will be going this way. So go this way and then jump off like that. Same thing with this one. For this one, you have to jump across like that. Alright. I believe this is the final floor. Yes. Okay. Once the wedge faces you, jump to the tippy top. Wait. And then jump onto the spinner. Now, once you're in the speed boost area, make the jump to the next one. And now you have to fight the balls. And from here, what I just said was crazy. So, okay, that's a quick timer. And yeah, that was a very quick timer, so do be careful. You do have to make the jump there. Alright, for this cylinder, you can just push it onto there. That's fine. Now, we are heading outside. I do not know whether this outside is safe or not. In fact, I forget. So I would recommend you pretend that it's not safe and go relatively slowly. Jump onto this and jump off like that. Onto this, to here. And you get a jump pad. Just walk down. Okay, this is probably one of the trickiest parts of the tower. This part will make your speed less, so the best way to do this would be to try and, once you're on it, to just hold jump. Like, just hold jump like that. And once you're ready, you can jump off. Just remember button there, button over there, or over there, and then one more over here. 2-stud wraparound, treat it the same as a 1-stud. Hug it, and then make that nice curve. Fight the momentum of the cylinder. Jump down into here. Now you have a speed boost push box section. You can push it to the edge here now, and then just run it to that. Now you're in a no jump section, so do avoid the walls here, and then get onto this one and quickly walk across. Then don't walk onto the wedges, walk onto this part, and then walk onto the wedges, and then walk off to here. Now this one gives you a big jump boost. I'd recommend jumping first so that you better get a chance to see where you go, and then jumping to it right after. And I just say you can hold jump the whole time. And for this one, you have to treat it like a wraparound. So hug the edge and then do that wraparound motion. Down to here, you can see there's a new red truss path. For this part, just jump to the center of these, and then you'll reduce the amount of momentum it takes on you. For this one, I recommend jumping just right here, and then just walking across. And then once you're ready, you can jump off to here. Just like that. Jump to this edge, and then you can jump over here. Go all the way until you don't have that thing bugging you, and then you can jump like that. Or you could just do the jump. At this point, you really only have one jump left, and I wouldn't recommend you do it when there's a red thing. I'd recommend you do it while it's like this, and then just jump onto that. And at this point, you've beaten the tower, because all that's left is a wind pad above you, and once you're on here, jump, and that is the tower. You have received 3 tickets for beating Tower of Boost Mayhem. You can obtain them next week. Alright, that is Tower of Boost Mayhem, and we've now completed 5 towers. 2 of them today. As you can see, it shows 5. Hey, well done on beating a tower. We welcome you to EToH, and you have what it takes to become one of the best Roblox obbies. Now, go keep completing towers and exploring more areas. Alright, so we are back in Ring 1 for this part, and now we are actually going to do Tower of a Simple Time, after all. In that case, I'm going to quickly lower my graphics. Here we go, and then let's begin. Okay, so for this one, all you have to do, walk up the slope, and stand in the middle of the ball, and then jump to the truss. Push that aside, and jump to the truss. For this, just walk right through. You can wait here, or you can also just jump to this one, and then continue as normal. There's a little bit of a rest area outside here, so you can look at everything. Looks pretty nice, honestly. Some basic jumps. So this is a this tower was actually recently revamped, or which means it looked completely different to this, and now it is a lot nicer looking, I would say, compared to the old version. I'll see you guys back up there. Okay, so you should probably wait until the platform comes like that so you can land on it. And then same thing, wait till it gets closer to there. So that is a lesson learned. Never go too quickly, even if too quickly doesn't seem quick enough. But at this point, you just walk right through here, and you go down the slide, and when you're ready, just press jump. Jump into here, and climb up this thing from the side. And you can continue through here. Now, I don't know how much you think this is true or not, but as you continue progressing, you might find this to be a bit easier than Tower of Anger, and that is in fact because it is lower on the difficulty chart. But the reason why I did Tower of Anger before this one was because I wanted to show you what a classic tower looks like, because not all towers that you do are going to be modern like the Purgatorio ones. So you do need to be prepared on how do classic towers work, how are they different from modern towers. X pusher, you just gotta push this until it's at the end, and just make sure you're careful on these. These are interesting spinners. Wait for it to land near you, and then jump off to here. You can just push that aside. top of that. I don't know what happens if you fall into that green thing, so I would assume it's a safety net, or nothing will happen, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, it's fine. Over here, wait for it to come down, and then go on it, and then jump right off. Another X pusher. All you have to do is just push this and jump off onto the wedge. Wait for it to come down, jump onto it, and then you are at a net, I believe. So now we can just continue the obbying as normal. Can just walk around that one. And I'm going a lot faster in this one because this is probably the second easiest tower that you will do. Now you can use the tightrope technique by going in first person for this, but this is thick enough. You can just jump across and just blast through those. Though I would recommend you do stay vigilant on this outside, because you never know if you could fall. Luckily, I do believe that most of it is netted. Now, you could jump onto those. I don't know what these invisible trusses are. I assume they're a developer skip, like in Tower of Anger, but I would not trust it just yet. So you'd still land there regardless. It won't save much time, but you can try that and you'll probably succeed. Just be careful if you were to do that, like with any skip. Wait for it to arrive near you and then jump onto it. Again, another truss, you can just jump straight to that, but I chose not to. It says GL with a exclamation point. Also, this is likely the shortest tower that you will do. Or one of the shortest towers that you will do. One of the ones with like one of the smallest times. Just walk onto here. And I took it really slow for Tower of Genesis, just because I thought that it was important to understand the concept of movement and some of the mechanics. So for this one, again, just blast through with W in space. I think that's probably the best method. These platforms, I would assume that they're wobbly platforms, so I would say try and blast through them. See, they're wobbling. And then just jump out to here. Conveyor, just speed right through. Go through these, land on one of these, and then jump off to here. Do not fall in there. That would not be good. So do make sure to jump at the end of there. Some balls there. Some spheres. Just climb the truss. It doesn't really matter that it's slanted. You'll be fine. I don't know why this is moving like that. But I guess it does move, so just do be quick with that. Push this X pusher. And I do believe this is the final outside. So you can just hold forward on the conveyor. It's not really gonna affect you much. And yeah, you're basically at the end here. So just wait till the platform arrives, jump onto it, and once you're at the top, that is GG's. Yeah, that's the wind pad. It's probably the shortest tower that you'll do. As you can see, we've unlocked a new area, Desire, and we've received 3 tickets for beating Toast. Well, my friends, that's all I have for this video. In the next episode, I will show you the in-game menu, Ring 2, and how to beat a hard difficulty tower. Do stick around, as I will continue to give as best explanations as I can for the harder towers. And since the easier towers will only be more natural for you, I will go a bit faster on them, if not completely skip them and show you only the important parts and highlight. I hope you enjoyed this video, as I put a lot of work into it, and I enjoyed the process of making it as well. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, or engage with this video in any way possible. That's all I have for today. Peace, love, and joy.